Okay, I know it's a few days after September 1st, but I wanted to play a game on the Polish invasion by Germany, um, which occurred on September 1st in 1939, just to commemorate the occasion. And this is one of the very few games that I have on the Polish campaign. I have a couple others, but for the most part, they're pretty large, and I wanted something small. I do have another small print and play type of game that I'll probably play next, but I'm gonna have to hurry up because Borodino's coming up soon, and I want to get a game of Borodino up and running here soon. Anyway, this game is called Some Poles Apart. It's by Against the Odds magazine, designed by Paul Rohrbach, and I think it was designed in 2007. It's a very small game, not very many pieces, as you can tell. It uses a regular card deck with one joker removed to what am I trying to say here? To drive the play of the game, I guess. It's not a card-driven type game, but deck of cards provides you with the random element and all that type of stuff. As noted in the intro, the I'll probably get the name all messed up, but the Battle of the Westerplatte was the very first opening shots of World War II. The Germans were trying to capture this little fortified position there, just outside the city of Danzig, and for the most part, it was a bloody repulse. The Poles put up a very stiff resistance, and the Germans, despite attack after attack, failed to capture their objectives until the Polish defenders finally ran out of water and ammunition and medical supplies, and then they capitulated to the Germans. So that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. The rules are printed on one. It's actually designed as a postcard type game. The size of the game is the size of a postcard. I have, I think I made the map just a little bit bigger when I printed it out, and I also took the liberty of making up my own counters because I really just can't stand the against the odds counters to most of their games. So I went ahead and just created my own. They're not, nothing fancy, but they do the job and show me what I need to know. I get this in focus here. This camera is so touchy about focus. Well, anyway, I'll have a better view when I get a close-up of them. Anyway, the rules are on one small little page. I have also increased them so I can read them. Basically, you can, for setup, you just put the poles pretty much anywhere you want to, except in this area and this area. I try to set them up semi-historically, given the units that I have, but there are actually Polish units scattered across the entire, geez, I don't even know what you call it, peninsula, island, whatever. And then there's the Germans will come in on the board on A and B down here. Battleship, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it right now until I go look it up. The German battleship that was paying courtesy call to the free city of Danzig was anchored around there. And let's see, the numbers on the units. I'll try to get one without messing it up too badly. How close I'll be able to get it. Still stay in focus. Probably not too far. Anyway, the large number on the right is its strength, and there is at the bottom, which you can't tell right now until I zoom in some more, is an indicator which side it's on. Basically, it's the strong side. I've only printed mine on one side, so when I have to reduce a unit, I'll have to go find its mate, so to speak, in another bag. But anyway, the other side is got a reduced combat factor, and it has weak at the bottom. So anyway, turns are pretty simple. Shuffle the card deck, leave out one of the jokers. German draws first. If his draw is black, he can pass or activate units, even ones that he has already activated, equal to half of the number on the card, rounding up. Aces equal 1, and black face cards activate all units in an area, or allow one flipped over unit to return to its full strength or strong side. A red card draw means that Polish player can pass or activate his units in the same way. Activated units they can move one area, or they can not move and attack. And there's a stacking of 2 units per hex. There are no zones of control. The battleship can move over the naval areas and out to sea, following the canal system here out to the ocean. Let's see, what else do we have? The game turn ends when the joker is drawn, or when all cards are drawn, whichever comes first. However, you ignore the joker if it's drawn before both players can activate at least once. So both players will get at least one activation before the joker card has any real effect. I'm trying to turn this over here a little bit. In fact, I'm going to try and go to telephoto, but that never seems to work for me when I'm in record mode. I'm not sure what's up with this little Sanyo, but I have a piece of doggy do on me sometimes. I'm going to zoom out. Let me just give you something else to look at. So combat is pretty much it's voluntary. Any unit on the map can attack up to 2 hexes away. There are no line of sight rules. Off-map units cannot attack or be attacked, and that pretty much just applies here to the off-board artillery and the by the Germans and their air power. Let's see what else. Terrain does not block a line of sight. Use the unit's printed fire strength to conduct attacks. Indicate up to 2 firing units and a single target unit. Firing player draws a card, and he'll add 1 to the card's number if all the firing units and the target unit are not adjacent. He'll add 1 to the Polish gun attacks when it attacks the battleship. Polish infantry mortar cannot attack the battleship. When the Germans attack Polish units, you get the area terrain bonus for the Poles. So each of these, and I know you can't see these until I switch over to telephoto, but each area has basically a terrain modifier, which you can almost see there. Yes, there it is. Like H2, for example. Then the space is H, and it has like a +2. The woods give the defender a better bonus. Anyway, draw a card, add all these modifiers, and plus modifiers are bad, by the way. If the drawn card plus the total of all modifiers is equal to or less than the sum of all firing units printed fire strength numbers, you flip the target over to its weak side. Otherwise, it's a miss. Units that already flipped are eliminated. And when you get a face card, you redraw face cards or treat as a miss at the attacker's option. After resolving the attack, return the drawing cards to activate the units again. And then there are some rules for German off-board air and off-board artillery. The game length, the game lasts 6 turns, which is card deck shuffles. So every time you shuffle the card deck is a turn. And who wins? Now this is the part I had the most trouble with. I haven't played it yet, but I can see where this is going to be probably the part that I dislike the most. Geez, I hope that's not as blurry as it looks. Back out a little bit. There we go, that's better. Kind of like taking one of those eye tests. Let's see, which one's better? This one or this one? Okay, who wins? The Germans begin with 9 victory points. You deduct 1 victory point for each reshuffle of the deck and for each German unit eliminated or reduced at the end of the game. Germans win if by the last turn at least one victory point remains and there are no Polish units on the map. Otherwise, the Poles win. So pretty much it's just a straight up slugfest. Polish units are there just to cause step losses to the Germans, but they have to maintain a force in being, which means they can kind of run around the isthmus there and allow the Germans to come up and try to chase them down, or they can just sit there and try to cause casualties on the Germans. I think the German player ought to have K1, which was the fortress hex, which was what the battle was mainly all over, was about. You know, that ought to be a victory condition of theirs too, of some sort. But we'll see. Anyway, when I come back, we'll start turn 1, I guess. So, see you in a little bit. Bye.